No, it's like podcast, but it's not actually a podcast. It's not the podcast.
So what is it?
Well, it's not the podcast, isn't it?
So what? But if it's not the podcast, then what are we doing?
We're doing not the podcast. See, because it's like a podcast, but it's not. So it's not the podcast.
I'm going to ask Jeeves.
And what does Jeeves say?
He doesn't know.
Okay.
Well, sod in then.
I'm going to be honest, I remember very little about the writing and shooting process of this thing, but I do remember a lot about the lovely fried breakfast we had afterwards, didn't we?
No, that was Roundabout.
Roundabout?
Yeah.
I thought I knew what we were talking about, but what? Oh, conference call, that was one with you and me, Mike. Yes?
No.
Okay.
It was.
Do you want us to pause and watch the
Yeah.
video?
No, just tell me what it was.
I'm trying to explain this to you so you understand why I said it, because you seem very confused by the whole process.
The only thing I'm confused about is, are there butchers coming to the meeting?
No, there are not butchers coming to the meeting.
Why not?
You know the one you wrote, which was a whole load of puns?
Yes! That was one with me and
And then you
Vicky.
Yes.
improv to the end.
But you've got meeting, right, like eating, yeah? The script basically read, here is a list of puns, and then my character would actually make a pun consciously,
Okay.
and then Alex's character would say, God, I hate puns. The meat in meeting room sounds like the meat in butcher's shops.
This is an office.
That sort of idea, it was very neat and it was a bit pleased with itself and it wasn't very fun. So we thought, how can we make this sillier and more fun for us?
Right, okay. So, you've got the meeting room, right?
I'm still not quite...
Maybe that take went on for a little bit longer than necessary.
I think we should have cut that out corn.
It's a shame because in one way I really want this to be a part of a pick and mix and just cut back to no, because it's.
We can have it as...
You could have that as the stinger, actually. Just have it going on forever for another
Going on.
5 minutes.
Puns aren't normally the sort of jokes I would write at all. Like I feel like pun jokes in scripts and a few pun jokes in my stand-up, but they're not generally what I'm interested in. So it was an exercise to see if I could write some, and that sort of turned into a script. But what I do like is just fucking going on and on repetitiously for my own amusement. So that crept in there. I don't know if you noticed it. It crept in a little bit.
Because you've got the meeting room and then the meeting room.
There's only the one.
No, I know there's only one, but
What I do is mainly whimsy and lazy reference humour. Like, I know the thing I'm referencing, but I won't necessarily know anything about it. Like, for instance, I know what Power Rangers are.
Tell it again. Okie dokie, that's most of the space is filled up for the bear.
If you can't do this, I can always replace you with a pig.
You can do. What happy became a lot more successful once we replaced Alex with farmyard equipment.
Now, I really love the puns in this video, and I think Alex should have another go at writing puns from time to time, because it's really, really good. Okay, look, there's this sketch from 3 years ago that these sketch comedians did. Look, it's called Pleased to Meet You, you see, because it's a pun.
my favourite fourth wall break of all time has been decided.
What's
It was an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air from one of the later seasons when they'd stopped really giving a shit because they were like, fuck it, we'll do whatever. And it's the pre-titles bit where everyone's having a panic because they're like, oh my gosh, did you see the stock market went down? Da, da, da. And Uncle Phil's like, don't be ridiculous, I'm rich, my money makes us money, we're fine. And then they all go, I guess you're right, and off they skip. And Will's just left on the couch going, we're so rich, how come we can't afford a ceiling? And then it just
It's like Waiting for Godot with Will Smith, which I would watch.
I would so watch that.
Will Smith and Eddie Murphy, Waiting for Godot.
That would be perfect. Personally, I quite enjoyed just being able to sit down at a desk and just improv, because we don't do a lot of improv, and we should do more of it.
We'll see how fun it is now.
Mm.
I'm relaxed now. Normally I'd like do a voice in videos, but this is my own voice.
Yeah, you do that. Oh, Alex!
Oi, Alex!
Oh, Hola!
Well, the thing is, I often do it to an extent that I think it messes up the takes. Often at the start, I'd say, "You have to catch me," and go, "Alex, no, it's hello. It's not hello.
Hola!
Hola, hola at you." Could you not do the ghetto Spaniard just once? Could you?
Yeah. Meat sounds like meat.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I normally do is just put it in for the opening, or whenever people need to be talking. I'm now just putting in stage directions. There is talking here, or there is an in
That's
medias
nice.
res opening sort of thing. Because a lot of the, especially in medias res openings, once you start doing them, they're a lot of fun to just come up with random sentences to start a video on, like, you know. So yeah, it turns out that he was too fly for a white guy.
You mean like medically?
Yeah.
How does that manifest?
It was unfortunate. There was a lot of cutting involved.
Is this like the opening of X-Men 3?
Yeah.
Ah.
Only better.
See, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
That was funny. I think you'll
That-
find
That
you might
was
not be
genuine
laughing.
comedy.
You might not be laughing, but for you to examine your internal sphincters, they would be.
Internal sphincters,
Yeah.
as opposed to external.
Or like
sphincters.
all your face holes and your.
Fair point, I suppose.
Oh, they're fairly. You can see them. I can't.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, we could.
So comedy is measured by the top of the rectum, not the bottom sphincter.
Well, I think it's all sort of the internal muscles, like that's your laughing muscles, and sort of one at the top there makes it's all the noisy one.
Other points.
Why do I get the feeling that comedy is measured at the top of the rectum is going to be our first t-shirt? And then when I say butchers, it turns out that it's actually to do with ME80, which is why it's funny, because it makes that connection in the brain between those two things.
Are you alright?
I really don't think I am.
I'll put them down as a maybe. Cool. Okay, now the chicken walks over the road room.
I need a cigarette.
I think that was good.
That was good.
I'm trying very hard not to laugh, so I'm simultaneously trying to think of, because this is what I do with my acting, is not so much get into a unique headspace as sort of try and draw inspiration very heavily while I'm acting. It's kind of difficult to explain because I think it's the sort of thought process that only really works in my brain. But essentially, while Alex is blank facing me, I'm trying to think simultaneously of Edmund Blackadder whilst dealing with the idiot Prince George, Graham Stark in Rapid Fire for those brilliant trying to explain a really complex idea using items, and also Hugh Edwards off BBC News, because if you can see his face, he is about 90% done with everyone he talks to. It's quite funny.
These outtakes are going to be great because it's just Vicky and Headless Alex.
Discussing existentialism.
Okay, that's my new webcomic, The Adventures of Vicky and Headless Alex.
It would be like a dinosaur comics thing where you just change the title for a day.
Yeah. Hissy Mike, not me, the hissy microphone. Any day now, like Leon's bought a new mic, we bought a new mic, we just need the right cable for it. So any day now, we're going to stop having that problem with the sound that you can probably hear right now. But I think it did end up being a little bit muffled just because you had to process it so much to get rid of the hiss. But honestly, guys, any day now, the sound quality will improve.
Okay, that's most of the offices booked up for next year, but we still need to fill up the confidence room.
The what room?
The confidence room. Okay.
Do you want to say that line again? So yeah, that's pretty much everything about conference call. And you're right.
Yeah, I'm alright.
Okay.
And Alex is now playing with his umbrella.
No, don't.
Bad luck, innit? Hey, fact fans.
what about the meeting room?
I think it'll mainly be butchers. You get it?
What?
Butchers?
Yeah.
Meeting room? You said, what about the meeting room?
Yeah.
And I said it'll be butchers,
Right.
because butchers sell meat. So they want to be in the meeting room, because they sound the same.
Go on.
Or, okay, so you've got, like you know what a butcher is, right? It's the guy who
Yeah.
sells meat.
Yeah.
So he sells meat.
Like a milkman, but with meat.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Or a fishmonger, but with like meat.
With meat, yeah. So you've got your...
There isn't fish.
Yeah. Well, fish isn't meat. It's a separate thing.
Sorry.
Fish and meat aren't the same thing.
What's this?
Like, they're separate things. Like
How
how...
does this relate to the meeting room?
Right, okay, so forget about the fish, right? So you've got butchers, and they
Yeah.
sell meat. And
Right.
because it's meat,
Yeah.
they would want to be in the meeting room because it sounds the same and it's funny.
But you want like they wouldn't but if they need an abattoir because of
No.
they'd be killing.
No, because they wouldn't
What
actually...
is-
Okay, right, you said what about...
But meat and offices aren't the same thing.
No, they're not. Right, okay, so you've got the meeting room, right, where people
Yeah, is
meet
that
each
there?
other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do,
it's
you want to have you seen it?
No. I know where it is.
Okay.
You've got the meeting room where people meet each other,
Are
right?
you all right?
And that's one kind of meeting, isn't
Do
it?
you need a holiday?
Okay. Do you know what a homonym is?
Is that? Well, it was illegal in the 50s, but they've just been able to get married now.
No. It's like two words that
My
sound...
brother's one. He's married his.
No, that's a homosexual.
A what?
Right. You're thinking of gay people that are called homosexuals. I'm talking
I
about...
know what a happy person looks like.
I'm talking about homonyms, which are words that sound similar.
Like the film with all the mice in it.
What?
But with the secret of homos, Nims.
No, that's... I don't even know what that is. That's Nims... What was that? Nims...
How does this relate to the
Right,
fucking meeting room? I think that was our best take so far. We carried that on for a while. That got tangled. That got winding. And that's improv.